Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be installing an Arlo doorbell. As you can see, we have this doorbell right here. I've already flipped the breaker off. If you're wondering how to do so, if yours is still working, you would click it and you would hear the doorbell go off, or you'll have a light on the inside. What you would do is, chances are it's not listed on your panel. So what you're going to want to do is get someone to flip breakers off one at a time until this one goes off, because chances are the doorbell is not labeled, as I said. After that it goes out, you should be able to hit it and it will not chime. Now if your switch is not working at all and you want to check and make sure, what you're going to do is take these two Robertsons out, pull it out, and there should be a wire on each side. All you do is you quickly tap the two wires together and it should chime. If it doesn't, then you have bigger issues. If it doesn't chime at all once if the breaker is live. If the breaker is not live, then of course it should not go off. Either way, let's go ahead and pull this off. When you go to mount your doorbell, if you look, you're gonna have one spot which is on the bottom in this case, and it has a little poking hole in it right there. I'm gonna try and do this on my leg for you, but basically what you got to do is take your poking tool which comes with it, slide it in the hole, and it'll separate just like that. After you do that, if it was on this side, you would mount it like that if your wire was coming out from right there, and that would aim straight at the outside. But we need more than that. So what we're going to actually need to do is, ours is over here, so I want a bit of an angle on it so it comes out. And to get that angle, we're going to have to clip it together with this. So there's these two stickies right here. We're going to remove them, and then it literally just slides in to the back and sticks like this. See how it sits like that? So pull those stickies off and stick it on the back like that. Pull that off. And again, these sticky, it's not like it's going to be held on by that. We just need it for right now, and boom. Just like that. Okay, now that that's on, we have our arrow facing up, so that way we know that's going up like that. We're gonna put a level on this, put this through here, and I'm actually gonna move it either over here or over here, because I don't want to go in the grout line. You can if you want to, depends on what you want to do. But if you go in the grout lines, just drill through the grout and then put it in. The most solid is going through the brick, but do whichever you'd like. So a little trick for you, if you go to line this up, what you want to do is, after you put the level on it, put your first dot up there and then go down there and put your second. Now if you're having problems getting anything in there, you put your screwdriver on there and then you slide this up the screwdriver, move the screwdriver, put a dot, put this one back on the dot, put the level it again, put the screwdriver in the bottom hole right here by my finger right there, then slide it up again and then put a dot exactly where that screwdriver was. After you have those two dots, now we know we can drill. So I used an SDS, but I drilled first a 3/16 bit, then a 1/4 inch bit, 3/16, then 1/4 inch. This one will be more stable than this one. This is just to keep it from rocking side to side. It'll still be good though. This one's really strong too. Next thing you're going to do is slide your cover over, and we're going to just tighten with the screws with a screwdriver and sync that up so we can attach our two wires to the back. Once you've got this screwed in here, next thing to do is loosen these screws off. Note how I put the wires in. See how it curls this way, then curls that way? So that way, as you turn it, what it does is it not only tightens it, but it also pulls the wire this way. If you do it the opposite way, it'll keep spitting the wire out and drive you nuts. So after you tighten it like this, you'll see that it's nice and tight on. And then you're just going to sink this back and click this back in like that. Boom. And the Arlo is clicked on. Next thing to do is go and take a look at our doorbell upstairs. There's going to be a cover, and we're going to pop that off. Take a look here. You'll have a cover. Pop this off. See 3 wires. You might see batteries in here. Battery sometimes just means that you have a battery backup, or it means you have a different system. Here you can see we're going to have a transformer. We're going to have a front doorbell and rear doorbell. So what we're going to have to do is see which side's the transformer side and which side is the doorbell side. Right now, looking at it, see how there's a different transformer here and a different one over here? What can be happening is this the side the transformers happen to. And then we have a front doorbell and a rear doorbell. Now, how we'd figure this out is you're going to loosen these off, straighten these all out so they're all hanging off away from this wire. You can even take this off, put it off to the side. You don't want that. But have these 3 black wires hanging singularly if they're not labeled, and we'll figure out which one is which by, we'll flip the power back on. So we got a really cool voltmeter here. What we've done is we've set it to AC 120, and we put the one marker on here and the other lead right here. We flip the breaker back on and went right up, which tells me that it's this one right here is to the transformer. So this one's to the transformer, and these ones are to each doorbell. So what we're gonna do is hook up the chime module between the two, and we'll see how it goes. So I managed to pop open this drop ceiling. I found the wiring, disconnected some more, and I found out right where the doorbell transformer was. And in this older house, it was right here on the side of this random junction box within the drop ceiling. Just goes to show you why it can be a little bit more fun when doing these projects. Usually it's in like a laundry room, which is why what we did is I've sectioned it off to where the breaker was. So you know when we flip the breaker off, it should turn off power to a certain room. Well, it turned it off just to this laundry room. After we did that, that's how I knew it was in here. And thank gosh there's a drop ceiling and we found it there. If not, things to check. If there's a furnace room and there's a security box, it'll be usually mounted right next to the security panel. Careful though, because some security panels do use them. But yes, that's usually what happens. Or find right where the chime is. If there's a closet on the other side, chances are it's in the closet on the other side, in a junction box like so. So the breaker's turned back off. These 2 wires, they're just load wires, so they can be in any direction really. So what you're gonna do is, if you can even roll it over and it'll even tell you, load. So what you're gonna do is disconnect these 2 wires and put it off to the side. And then after we've put those 2 off to the side, then you're gonna note the orientation of these 2, because if you look in here, see these 2 are coming from the transformer. We have a black that's going to a bunch of blacks, but they try to mislead you by putting 1 white wire in there. So just know which one you're doing. White goes to this white bundle right here, and black goes to this black bundle, and there is 1 white wire in there, not to get confused. So if you have something like this, make sure you take a picture, so that way you can always fall back on that picture. So just disconnect these 2 connections, disconnect these 2 connections, put those 2 off to the side, these here, and then we're gonna go under here and remove this transformer, which is just sitting inside this junction box right here. Pull it out and we're going to install a new one. When you get your new one, you'll see 16, 10, and 24. So just put one side on here, one side on here. Once you've tightened those 2, I'm going to probably trim a little bit of this extra here. Then mount it. Probably mount mine up in here, over here, like that. Something up there. And then you're going to run your wiring into your box through here, and we'll wire it in. So do that and get this mounted up here. Once you have your whites to whites, blacks to blacks, and so there's also a copper cluster there. You'll see a whole bunch of these copper ones. That's what the moret that you tie the green wire to. So if you see a cluster of these copper wires, just tie it into that moret. Now we're just gonna, before I even put this faceplate back on, I already have everything wired. I'm gonna go and flick the switch and make sure my Arlo lights up. Look at that, it's now white instead of red. We now know our Arlo is ready to go. Let's finish the rest in the app. Once you get that going, go into your Arlo app. If you've already got Arlo cameras, hit add a device. We're gonna say doorbell, video doorbell. Tell you everything you need. We've already done it all. Continue, continue. We did all this. You guys can just skip all this. We just say wires, say 3. If you had a 2 wire, perfect. We're going to just say this, otherwise it tells you to consult a professional. And we're going to say front door, loosen terminals. It's going to tell you how to hook it up, which might have been a little bit different depending on your setup. Install the power chime is done. Now it'll tell you to replace your doorbell. Continue. And it'll ask you about your plates. Yes, I need an angled plate. It'll ask you, we're going to say to the right. Continue. Continue. Perfect. Exactly what we did. continue, yes, continue, continue. Put in your Wi-Fi information. After this, it's going to tell you to sync the doorbell, so just go ahead and hit that button. When you get to this step, it'll start blinking. If it doesn't start blinking, just hold the button for a second, and then it starts. After that, press continue, and then it's going to ask you to hold this QR code that's on your tablet right up to here, and it should do that. After it does that, just press continue, and then it's going to look for the doorbell, let it do its thing. I'll let it do its thing and just fire this up after. After you do that, it's just going to get you to name your doorbell. For us, it's kind of easy, just front door. After that, it's just going to say please wait, and then it should just finish up. It says checking for updates. It probably will find some. So we're just going to let it do this. Now it's updating. Just let it do its thing. Alright, we're done the firmware. Test your chime. Yeah, just heard it. Digital. Test. Yep, just sent me. There we go. And then done. It will now say it's now active. Press finish. And then, of course, you can do all that. We can go here and you can see everything that's going on with the doorbell. The front door. You can see that it's saying the Wi-Fi signal isn't the best, but I'll take a look and see how that's going to go. Or this one right here, we'll take a look. Oh, there. Oh, it just went really good. Okay, perfect. But yeah, and then you'll be able to click on the doorbell. Front here, settings. There we go. Arlo would like to use your microphone. Okay. And the reason why I say yes to that is because when you're using that, you want to be able to speak. If, let's say, Amazon driver, someone comes and hits your doorbell, you'll hit it and then you can actually speak to it. And then, yeah, you've got all your settings in here: activity zones, video settings, audio settings, call settings, everything like that. So any fine tuning you want to do, and of course saying persons detected at the front door because it's seeing me. And yeah, that's basically it. Our Arlo doorbell is now officially installed. You can even see that I'm currently right here. In 1 second. There will be a slight delay. And again, this only works on 2.4, so if you try hooking this up to 5 gigahertz, it'll give you a big fat no and won't do it. So after you do that, you can go to library, see who all's been to your door, and all that other fun stuff. Either way, I'm going to mess around with this a little bit more. That's all there is to this video. Just a like if it helped you out.